Honestly, 2026 might end up being one of the most stacked years in entertainment we've had in a long time. We've got 2026 World Cup in less than 2 months. GTA 6 is finally dropping. They better drop this game this year, I swear to God. Even when you look at the MCU, Marvel alone is lining up projects like Avengers, Doomsday, and Spider-Man Brand New Day, movies that are definitely gonna shatter the box office. We got Doom Part 3, Beef Season 2, The Boys final season, Stranger Things, Tales of 85. I'm joking. Nobody gives a fuck about this shit. But yeah, we are eating good this year. But today isn't about everything. Today we will be deep diving into movies and TV shows that I personally am excited to see this year. Some of these could be bangers, some of these could suck ass. Honestly, who knows with the way things are going nowadays. So let me know in the comments what you're really excited to see this year. Who knows, maybe we're both excited for the same thing. So with that said, in no particular order, here are 4 TV shows and movies that I'm excited to see in 2026. Let's do this. I really wanted to like the first season. I really tried. And don't get me wrong, it was strong in certain aspects. Like the show looks so good. The fight sequences were fucking badass. The casting accuracy is genuinely unbelievable. Some of the actors look almost identical to the original animated characters. The POIs are visually accurate. It's actually impressive. You can see it shot for shot. The Water Tribe, Fire Nation, or Marshu. I was impressed. But while it had all these pluses, it also had an equal amount of problems, if not more. First of all, the writers did something I genuinely hate, which is, say it with me guys, exposition dumping. These fuckheads will literally have characters say out loud their feelings and literally what's going on while you're watching. It was so distracting, and Aang gets it the worst.
This whole time I've been worried that I don't know what I'm doing. And the truth is I don't. I've died because I wasn't here. Because I don't know what I'm doing. I do need you. I'm supposed to be the Avatar and everyone is counting on me. Except I don't know what I'm doing.
The past. Now, only one person can tell you the future.
The past, the future, it all gets mixed up.
Seeds for the future. Not past mistakes.
I understand something Gyatso was trying to tell me. He told me, let go of the past.
Every scene is in, he's just constantly vomiting exposition non-stop. I get why they did this. I 1000% do not agree, and I think every writer should stop doing it. They essentially do this because 1, they're trying to cater to a larger audience, but also to cater to people with negative attention span. Let's make sure whoever's watching this can watch TikToks and watch our show at the same time without feeling lost. So what they do is violently dumb down the show to accommodate for NPCs. Stop doing this shit. It's cringe and annoying. The character work? oh my god. When I tell you there is not a single ounce of character development in this season, it's insane. You see, what made these characters work in the animated series is how the writers slowly peeled off their layers. Zuko was on straight demon time during the first season, like he was the main villain, before they gave him probably one of the best character development I've ever seen. And it takes some time before he became sympathetic. This show has already started to show that side of him way too early. It's like they don't want to commit to Zuko doing unredeemable things. It just ruins it for me. Same with Azula. She is not this insecure child that the show is trying to portray. I mean, she is, but the Netflix show exposes that way too early, which is annoying because in the animated series, Azula is a fucking gangster.
You don't see the family resemblance? Here's a hint. I must find the Avatar to restore my honor. It's okay. You can laugh. It's funny.
She's a lethal fighter, she's smart, calculating, and incredibly disciplined. There is no taking her in a one-on-one fight. If you do that, all that will be left of you is burnt ashes. And she will do that without breaking a sweat. Her character is about ego. Everything she does has to be perfect. If not, it's not good enough. You don't get to see the insecurities till like chapter 3, which was the final season, making her one of the most compelling characters in the entire series. Live action Katara is one of the most docile and boring characters I've ever seen on TV. Oh my days, you do not understand how criminal that is. Katara in the original series is the complete opposite of docile. She's authoritative, she's funny, charismatic, caring, hot-tempered. She doesn't give a fuck. She doesn't care if she's doing a bad thing for her benefit, and she has genuine themes attached to her. Now that you've heard all this trailer and you go watch the Netflix version, you'd be so confused because she's got none of that. Completely stripped down to just one emotion. This is literally Katara the entire season. Some people will say it's the actress, but I don't think Kia Wendio is a terrible actress. I genuinely believe if they gave her good writing, she would have brought it to life flawlessly. Same with Azula or Zuko or even Aang. These actors are not terrible. Not all of them anyway. It's just bad writing. These two on the other hand were sleeping through this shit, man. I could not stand the scenes with them. Oh my god. It's just so funny because almost every character in the original season is damn near perfect. I couldn't stress this enough. Certain changes didn't make any sense. We don't get to see John this season. My man is literally the reason Aang had a complicated relationship with firebending. Why? Rewriting the reason Aang got stuck in Storm is crazy work. I don't understand why they did that. In the original season, guys, Aang was not trying to go clear his head. My man was trying to cut. He was trying to run away. He was running away because he doesn't want the responsibility of being the Avatar. He just wanted to have fun playing with his friends. He was such a young age and he just wanted to stay that way. Why they changed that? I don't know. It's just weird. Revealing Fire Lord Ozai this early is a dumb move and I will die on that hill. He did not make an appearance in the original series till the final season. For the first two seasons, we hear all about him, but we don't see him. All we get is shadow silhouettes of him in flashbacks. I don't know. I just feel like he made Ozai more scary. I don't know. Maybe I'm just a sucker for that kind of build-up because I just love when you go through an entire season or even 2-3 seasons and everyone is talking about this person, this phantom, this villain, and you just never get to see them for a very long time because when you do see them, you know shit is really about to fucking happen. I could keep going, but you get the point. They messed up things and I hope they can fix it in the next season. Please stop with the excessive exposition. God damn. Hello, what's going on YouTube? I'm invading the video just so I can add a few more things to what I was saying earlier. The problem with this live action Avatar The Last Airbender is they're not focusing on storytelling. It's just more of a spectacle. They're rushing from one spectacle to the other because they're very insecure that whoever's watching this show, whoever's going to pick this up on Netflix, doesn't understand what's going on, so they need to keep them engaged by just throwing events and massive CGI firebending action set pieces, which are cool as fuck, don't get me wrong, they're amazing, but you need the story to back it up, and that's why I say all the time, sometimes budget is not the problem, it's writing. Writing is everything. Without that, you have nothing. You can look like Game of Thrones, but if the writing is not good, it's shit. Like, it doesn't matter. Show just needs to trust his audience and trust that we understand what's going on without having to over explain everything and have your characters dump exposition all the time. They just need to take the time, slowly peel off the characters. I mean, you're off to a terrible start, but it's only the first season. You got 2 more seasons to go and you can make it work. They just need to lock in. You got 10 episodes. It's a lot, but there's nothing wrong with having your episode be about 55 minutes, an hour long to actually flush out the stories and flush out the characters properly. That's just what they need to do, and I hope they do, because they're introducing one of my favorite characters, Toph. They can't mess up. If they mess her up, I'm done. I'm quitting. That's it. Done. We're done with this. She's one of the most effortlessly cool characters I've ever seen ever. They can't fuck that up. So yeah, I'm gonna let you guys get back to the video now. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say exactly that. Yeah, you just took the words right out of my mouth. Okay, moving on to the next one. Okay, listen, this movie has mad potential. At first, when I heard it was going to be adapted into a movie back in 2023, I was like, ugh, good idea, but it's gonna suck ass. But that doubt completely changed when I found out that it was being produced by A24, and that put a smile on my face. For the uninitiated, the Backrooms originated in 2019 when an anonymous user, 4chan, posted a strangely unsettling image of empty yellow space alongside a short description saying, "No clipping out of reality." The concept quickly spread because it tapped into the fear of liminal spaces and infinite glitch environments. As the idea grew, it shifted from pure psychological horror into more structured system with levels, entities, and survival rules, laying the groundwork for game adaptations. The biggest turning point came in 2022 when a 16-year-old Kane Parsons, this guy, he created a viral found footage short film titled The Backrooms Found Footage. This gave the Backrooms a visual identity and narrative structure. Did I already mention this brother was 16? What the fuck was I doing when I was 16?
You want a staff job and you want a staff job. Anybody care about what I want?
I do.
Shut up. Get out.
Fucking hell, that was interesting. This explosion in popularity directly influenced a wave of indie backroom games, turning a single eerie image into a fully interactive horror genre. So in 2023, A24 picked this up and even granted Kane Parsons the opportunity to direct the movie, making him the youngest director in A24's history. I really like that the studio are working with the original creator of the short film, keep the tone, keep the core, and expand from there. And saying the concept of backroom is unsettling is an understatement. You are stuck in this empty office mall which seems endless. In there you get the feeling you're not alone. Something is watching you, but you don't know what it is. What is also creepy is the counter signal with colors. The environment is not painted in dark creepy colors like a rusted brown, black, grey. It's yellow, and we all associate yellow with happy, positive, and safety, which I think is very clever. Already saw the trailer and I'm so pumped. I can't wait to see this shit in cinema. Don't screw this up, guys. I'm putting my faith in you.
Aren't you the ditz from that die?
Okay, let's talk about the big girl. I feel like Hollywood has been failing this character for a very long time, and it's just annoying. Kara Zor-El is one of my favorite superheroes of all time, right next to the Flash. I don't care, argue with the wall. Y'all can stick with your Batmans and Supermans, but for me, these two are definitely the GOATs. But as much as I love Supergirl, I don't think she's had any good live action adaptation, like ever. And I believe it boils down to one simple problem. They don't understand who Supergirl really is. In 1984, we get the first Supergirl movie, spearheaded by Helena Slater, but while campy and fun, I just don't believe it's a good Supergirl movie or even story. A lot of people love this movie, but for me personally, it's a no, I'm sorry. Then in 2007, we had Supergirl make an appearance in Smallville. I love this show. I only started watching it like 3 years ago, and I can't believe it's taking me that long to watch this peak. I'm still rewatching it till this day. Genuinely incredible, but obviously I know y'all see this beautiful woman on my screen. But I'm okay. Sorry. I don't know what the fuck just happened there. Moving on. This is probably the best attempt for a live action adaptation of Supergirl because of one reason I will touch on later. Also, I would say Laura Vandervoort as Supergirl is genuinely great casted. I don't even know how the hell did they do. What the fuck? Bro, she looks like her. How? But while she was a great casting for this role, I just don't think the writers really helped her own this character the way I believe she could. Gone, but not forgotten. Now let's talk about my favorite one, CW Supergirl.
Yeah, boy.
Okay, listen, I'm gonna be honest. Melissa Benoist as Supergirl is perfect casting, not good, not great, perfect. If you ask me and you're talking to me about Supergirl, the first person that pops into my mind is Melissa Benoist. I just love her in this role. I don't give a fuck. But the problem here is that this shit is airing on the CW. From the get-go, she is just boshed with the worst writing, which also brings me to the point I was trying to make earlier. This Supergirl is not Supergirl. She's a female Superman. Let me explain. They write and treat Kara like she is Clark Kent. And honestly, I think that's the problem that keeps showing its face in live adaptations. She works as a reporter like Clark. She wears glasses to cover her identity like Clark. She's a human at heart like Clark. She's all goofy and shit, always whining. She's soft and a clean-cut hero. And it's like, my dog. In the comics, Kara Zor-El is fundamentally a different kind of character. She remembers Krypton vividly, and that changes everything. Unlike Clark, who was sent to Earth as a baby and raised by humans, Kara grew up on Krypton. She had a life, a culture, an identity before watching it all disappear. That trauma doesn't just sit quietly in the background, it defines her. It makes her more volatile, more reactive, and at times more dangerous. Because the story isn't about becoming human, it's about losing where she came from and not knowing where she belongs now. There's also a layer of survival's guilt that adaptations rarely commit to. Kara was sent to protect Kal-El. That was a purpose, that right there. But she arrives too late. He's already grown, he's already become Superman, already fulfilled the role she was meant to play. So now she exists in the shadow of a destiny she failed to complete, and that creates a very different kind of hero. Where Superman represents control, restraint, idealism, Supergirl is power still figuring out itself. She feels more alien than human, more emotionally exposed, and far less stable in how she processes loss, anger, responsibility. She can be passionate, but she can also be ruthless. Guys, Supergirl is not this goody two-shoes that you see on TV and CW. Nope, she's low-key dark. She will tear your arm from the socket before even asking what you did wrong. She does not give a fuck. One of the most interesting part about her is that she has a very weird and complicated relationship with humans compared to Clark. She's a bit of an outsider. She and Clark argue a lot because this girl would spend most of her time outside Earth chilling with other aliens because she can relate to them better than humans. Sometimes she even thinks it's pointless saving humans, and that's not her priority. All she cares about is bashing the threats. You get it, she's very different from Superman, and it's exactly what most adaptations smooth over because it's easier to present her as this optimistic, clean-cut and fully adjusted hero. But the truth is, Supergirl is not fully adjusted. She's a survivor trying to rebuild her identity from nothing, and that's a far more compelling character than what we usually get on screen. I think the closest we've gotten to this was probably Sasha Cal's Supergirl in 2022 Flash movie. She was so cool and she genuinely felt like Supergirl, but it was just a wasted potential. Then DC decided they wanted to restart their whole cinematic universe, so that's nice. I would actually go as far to say that Zack Snyder's Superman is kind of what Supergirl is like. Kind of. Like, guys, this is not Superman, but we'll talk about the DC missing the point another day. Anyway, now in 2026, we're getting a Supergirl movie directed by James Gunn, and I'm very happy. After that amazing Superman movie that surprised everyone, me included, I was over the mood when the Supergirl movie was announced right after. After years of pulling my eyes out watching CW's lame attempt at Supergirl adaptation, I might actually witness greatness. James Gunn, you might actually save me. In James Gunn we trust. Everything surrounding this movie just gives me hope that they might actually have figured it out. Also, I have to say, Millie Alcock as Kara Zor-El is genuinely great casting choice in my opinion. I know I said the same thing about Millicent Laura, I'm aware, but the same applies here. Leave me alone. Even from the Superman movie, just her 1 minute screen time, I can't lie, I was straight on board. She just has the natural energy to bring this character to life. Even in the trailer, she's just got this sarcastic banter, high temper, and she just can't be bothered with life. She's getting drunk and just beating the living shit out of the bad guys. She's just living her life and I love it. Words cannot describe how excited I am about this movie. I really hope they get it right because I want people to tap into Supergirl because she's fucking dope. Please read Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. Thank me later. Alright, let's move on to the final one now.
Promise me.
Okay, listen. Whoever's in charge of marketing this show doesn't deserve their job because how the fuck is this shit flown under the radar? If y'all know me, I'm always on the hunt for some horror thrillers. Right now, I got Dark and 1899 on my watch list. Heard they're fantastic TV shows that deserve the 10 masterpiece, so we will see. Honestly, From has been a weird blast so far. I'm not gonna say much because as I'm recording this video, I'm in the final episode of season 2 and I'm enjoying myself, dog. It's got such a unique identity and you never know where the story will take you. Every time you think you figured it out, the show just does a 180 into something else and it's like psych. The way the show blurs the difference between good and bad is very compelling. Characters you think are fundamentally good aren't afraid to tap into doing something bad for their benefit. The show has its issues, but I'm holding my judgment till I finish the entire show. Season 4 is set to release in a couple of weeks and I'm excited because the story is so gripping and I don't want to have to wait a year to get into another season. I hope they conclude this series properly. I don't know how they're gonna do it because there's so many unanswered questions, but I pray they planned this before and they have an actual ending in place. But hey, who knows? Maybe the end will suck ass and this video will age badly. Anyway, that's it. That is 4 TV shows and films I'm very excited to see in 2026. Let me know what your most anticipated TV shows and films and why in the comments. I would really love to hear them. Apologies if this video seemed all over the place. It wasn't planned. I didn't expect it to be this long. Hopefully it comes out before season 4 from though. Like I've always said, y'all could be watching anyone else, but you're here watching me and I appreciate that and I'm happy. Gas. I'll see you guys soon. Netflix, please don't ruin this beyond repair. I'm begging. Also, Tottenham might be getting relegated. Okay, bye.